Hey guys, I'm here. Today we're going to be checking out the first episode of Echo. All 5 episodes are on Disney Plus right now as we speak. And I know this all dropped all at once, so I know a lot of you guys are going to rush through this all at one setting. I'm going to try to get through this as fast as I can. Editing is going to take some time. At least I'm going to be getting one of these a day out to you guys until we finish the series. Now, I don't know too much about this character outside of some of the things that I just kind of picked up along the way after her introduction in Hawkeye. I know we're going to be kind of diving into her backstory, into her roots and stuff like that, and I'm excited to see what they do with it, as well as bring good old Matt and Kingpin into the mix as well. We're seeing more and more of them creep back into the MCU, back into this, and especially with the showrunner, one of the executive producers of this show, they, at least in their minds, now Kevin Feige himself hasn't said anything yet, but the person behind this show said they built this as if everything that was in the Netflix series is coming along for the ride with them. And hell, from what I saw in the previews and stuff leading up to this, they were using footage from the show. So I don't know, man, that's exciting because that show is my favorite Marvel thing I think that has ever been put out, was the Netflix Daredevil series. But guys, with that all said, let's go ahead and hop into this. If you want to see the full-length reaction, you can check that out over on Patreon, or if you become a member of the channel, get you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time codes to react to the entire episode. Get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover in the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage, trying to make it worth your while, so sure, go to way to support the channel. But guys, at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. At least leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already, and with that all said and out of the way, let's hop into episode 1. Here we go. Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't remember. I've stayed away from some of the trailers, but this is a Marvel spotlight. I didn't know that. That's nice. It's setting itself in its little pocket. Oh, whoa. Oh, interesting. Okay. What in the world? Okay, well that was an intro. Oh, okay. No. But are they like of Earth? I'm a little confused. They were like tree people.
Then Biscuits' dad, he grabbed that.
Hey, oh.
That man. He just loved peaches.
No.
I like your peaches.
I like your peaches.
It's raining in the tent.
Something eating you?
So that bird preceded the collapse of that cave. She seems a little unnerved now, having seen it again here. Is it like an omen? Because she seems really uneasy. Oh, no. Oh, damn. Is that how she lost her leg? Well, it's definitely how she lost her leg. God, that was a huge shard. Wow. I guess it was an omen.
I found out who cut the brakes. They're taken care of.
Oh, you think that makes me feel better?
Makes me feel better.
I begged her not to marry you. I told her those Lopez boys are no good. Thugs, criminals. You took her from us. You.
All right, I think it's time to go.
No, it's time for him to go.
Henry got me a job.
Where? New York.
Isn't that far enough?
No.
Wow. I mean, I get it, but I guess somebody was trying to do him harm.
I go too.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe they are. But dragons live in a different world.
Both yes. And, well, actually, the ones that are on Earth, from what we've seen, are dead.
You have to learn to jump between two worlds.
No. Yeah, we've seen a lot of these scenes before, right? So much, like that last one and definitely this one.
Ready?
Oh, shit. That was good. That was a good transition. I like that. Was this then when they were getting taken out? Yeah. When Clint came cleaning through the tracksuits. Wee! Sorry. Nice! I don't know if that accomplished.
Sir, why don't you just step back?
We all mourn your father.
She was just acting out, maybe trying to get his attention.
My father was killed also. When I was 12 years old, the pain that I felt in the wake of that moment.
Yeah, okay.
I've never felt again since.
A little bit of a different situation, though, with that.
Take your hurt, your loss, take your pain, make it into something useful.
See, what I want to know is, like, the timelines. I'd like to see, like, a bullet point of how this all stacks up.
We're here for the meeting. You're clear. Hands up. All right.
See these guys? They're trying to move in on Fisk's territories. We're gonna take them out. Let's try something else. We go in there, shoot people. You cool?
God. Just how, like, nonchalantly he he is about that.
Kingpin thanks you for your loyalty.
Oh, whoa, whoa. I know this at least has to be between, obviously, when she found out about his father and then when she started tracking down Clint and all that. Oh my God. When you don't know what to do. God damn, man. I like this shift in the audio from the diegetic sound then to what she's hearing. Or feeling, for that matter, too. Have a seat, bitch. You again.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice job, kid.
Whoa. Yo. Here's a boy.
I've been watching them all night. And then you guys show up.
Dude, let's go. It is nice seeing him back in the red again. This being a flashback, it makes sense too if he does in fact change his gear later. Oh, I like that little, I don't know what you would even call that. I will admit though, I've always been partial to this to his black suit, like the scarf over his head, whatever you would call that. That was always my favorite Daredevil look from the show. Nice.
None of my men have ever held their own with him like that. You did better than even I expected.
I imagine that's all we'll see of Matt, to be honest. But it was cool. Yep. And then all this happens.
You and I were the same. When you're filled with rage, makes you blind. It can be used. Be manipulated. Your boss wanted your father dead. Yes, your boss.
This episode is like, you didn't watch Hawkeye, did you? Just in case. Greatest hits. God, that Trust-a-Bro van. Five months later, we can probably map out a pretty good timeline from this point now. Create a timeline of like Kingpin's involvement to where she would fit in the grand scheme of things with what we know from Daredevil to what we know in the MCU. Oh shit. She's come all the way home. Oh my God. Oh God. That's some scary shit right there. I've been on a long road trip before and had a moment or two like that. It's terrifying. I was never on a motorcycle though. I feel like that would be even more terrifying. Oh, she's gonna use that dental floss to stitch herself up. Ugh. What even happened? Whoa, what the fuck? Looks like a butter knife.
Oh, what the heck? If my grandma finds out someone's squatting here, there's gonna be hell to pay.
What the hell?
Maya? It's me, Biscuits. Oh my God.
Say Biscuits?
You look the same, even after.
I mean, honestly, she does. The casting they have from like young Maya to Alaqua Cox here is honestly, it is like, you know exactly who you're looking at.
This is Maya. She's our cousin. She's good people.
No.
She's busy. New York. Huge.
No.
Good to see you, cousin.
No.
Hey.
It's always nice seeing like something in the MCU that's not New England area or, you know, the southwest of Cali or anything like that, to get a different like perspective on the world itself, because almost everything happens in those few little coastal territories. Oh, was she scoping out? Was that Bonnie? Make America skate again. Dude, I can't even tell you where the closest roller rink is. We have an ice rink. No roller one anymore, though.
$7 to skate, or it's $5 to watch. Or you can go ahead and spend that $5 on a Butterfinger Blizzard.
What is going on?
Green light, go! Red light, stop! Use your core. Oh!
And that's where the Squid Games come out. You didn't stop! Oh, what? On the King Killer. Oh, interesting. Man, fucking news of that gets this deep out here? I mean, I guess, man, his connections were pretty fucking wild.
Bullet or blade?
All right, what are we working with here? Locking hemostat. It keeps the cannula from slipping out of your carotid during desanguination, but I don't think we're embalming you today.
Gretchen's our resident mortician.
What the fuck? That is a good point. The delivery and execution of that was great.
Take a deep breath.
God damn it. That was really well done. That was cheeky. I love it. What? Fisk shipping. Ah. Okay.
I figured you needed more from me than stitches. I won't bring a war here to the people I love and who love you.
She wants to Walter White his empire.
We didn't have this conversation.
And I'm sure that's how her dad got involved, because his reach was all the way out here to begin with. Damn, that's kind of wild. So is he tracking her down? Did he put out the bounty? Or is somebody doing that on his behalf? Oh, shit. This season on Echo. Yeah, I don't want to watch any of that. I'll figure that out. Now, is there a post-credit scene? I don't want to highlights of what's to come, because we'll get to all that. Nope, nothing else. All right. Well, that first episode, there was a lot of good things in it. There was a lot of great little wholesome little moments, especially with the family dynamic, the opening, our intro, especially with her and Bonnie in the tent, the family kind of communing, kind of where they were initially, and then having all of that by the end of the episode, or actually before we even got halfway through it, all that had kind of fallen apart. It's really easy to kind of get me on board with those types of moments, because anytime you involve the family and some sort of tragedy like that, or long lost friend, or any of these types of relationships that are just really easy to understand and connect with, it's always just an easy way to kind of pull at my heartstrings, and they had some pretty effective moments. Now, obviously, I feel like this was structured in a way that you can come into this, because it is, I believe, if I'm right, I mean, obviously we had our special presentation with the holiday special and with Werewolf by Night. You know, this is our first official Marvel spotlight, right? With under that banner. So by design, those are meant to kind of stand alone, able to go in without any outside context. However, that obviously isn't how this was intended to be viewed. So it did have to spend a lot of this episode catching people up. Moving forward from this point, now that we got all of that out of the way, I would imagine and I would hope that the subsequent episodes have a little bit more smooth and more consistent of a pacing throughout, aside from the flashbacks maybe to her childhood or to this setup, this origin of her tribe that is being instilled here with that opening sequence with the cavern, with the water, and them kind of shedding this skin and going out to walk amongst the surface. I mean, obviously, I imagine a lot of that's going to still come into play as she is now kind of returning to her roots, and I'm sure she'll start to discover her connection to this land, to her family, to her people, and reconnect with that, especially since her father had to remove her from that because of his own actions. You know, the death of his wife, her mother, because of the kind of stuff that he got mixed up in. Obviously, that also led her to get mixed up into this stuff as well, because that pretty much like firsthand brought her to Fisk and left her in his care and set her on this path of self-destruction in a lot of ways. I like that Clint was able to kind of pull her out of that muck and kind of relate to her with what happened to him with Ronan. Is like, what happens when you're with this rage and all this stuff, and also kind of parallels with Daredevil, which that was a nice little surprise. You know, we went into this season, obviously part of the push for this was that they were both going to be in here. There was one of the first tidbits of information that came out of this in an official capacity, not even like leaks or anything like that, was that Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox would be at least shooting stuff for the season. I imagine, obviously, with the setup for this and the connection directly that they have, we're going to see a fair amount of Fisk throughout this, or at least he's going to be the looming presence of this as he recovers. There's this bounty on her head after what she did at the end of Hawkeye. I don't know if he put the bounty out, his men did, the remnants, people, whoever's running it in his stead while he's recovering, or in some moment of clarity between comas, he gave the order. Considering the fact that we are not in New York right now, we're back in her hometown in Oklahoma. I know there's a lot of stuff that she's got to explore here from what we saw in the trailers. So I imagine, I don't know how much time we're going to spend here. I don't know if the bulk of it will be here or if we'll even return to New York. Will Kingpin be coming to Oklahoma, or will she pursue her journey here and then go back and confront him yet again? Because obviously if we don't leave Oklahoma, there's no real reason for Matt to be here. So I imagine in that flashback, and that's a great way to do that with the whole Matt thing, was go into a flashback and kind of fill in kind of what she was up to between some of the moments that we saw in Hawkeye that connected to that story. We got to see her first kind of gig, and it was going in as this enforcer to break up whatever was going on with that gang at that club. Meanwhile, outside, Matt was scoping this whole thing, and he was going to interrupt it. He was going to bust that place and, you know, probably turn them over to the authorities. But lo and behold, they ruined that plan. They had their little scuffle. They had their little match. He was just, you could tell he was pacifying. He was just trying to get out of the situation. Things got muddy, and he's like, all right, let's just peace out of here. The fight itself and the action scenes that we got so far in this episode were not the best. Like, they weren't the best that we've seen. It definitely doesn't hold a candle to what was done over on the Daredevil Netflix kind of side of stuff. And I'm trying not to bring that over, but I just have to call it out. Some of the fight scenes that we did get were a little wonky. The choreography was a little slow. Some of the editing was a little choppy. Some of the moves, you could tell that maybe they weren't rehearsed as much as they could have been. And then there's that weird little CGI cross stitch that they did with Matt with like a digi-double that was very, very noticeable. Hopefully that is not indicative of what will come throughout the bulk of this season. It was just a little messy, and like I said, I'll call it out what it is. I like a lot of the emotional beats. I like a lot of the setups. I did like a lot of the camera moves. I liked a lot of the cinematography overall throughout this, and some of the editing, especially with the sound design. I'm definitely not going to judge this episode too harshly just because it is the first episode, and it does have the job of catching everybody up, whether you watched Hawkeye or you didn't, or if you've seen Daredevil or you haven't, so they can get everybody up on the same page so that it can tell the story that it wants to tell in this Marvel spotlight that is just kind of its own little pocket story, separate from the connective threads that tie it down to the other stuff that we've seen. And I'm excited to see what they do with it, because definitely with that opening and then her getting these flickers and these images, dreaming of that, and then the ancestors throughout time, because we saw that skipping. I'm very curious to see what all that is about. That all said, what did you guys think of the episode? How did you guys feel about it? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the full-length reaction, check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Manny Sherritt, Ryan Karen, York, Scott Melito, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Hale, Jake Cantrell, Eric Official, Casey Wood, and JoJo. Thank you guys so much for continued support, and everybody who's been supporting the channel over there. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, everybody.